What if I told you that tonight, while you're lying perfectly still, your body will become one of the busiest places on Earth? Not because you're exercising, not because you're eating, not because you're taking medicine, but because, while you're asleep, billions of cells quietly begin repairing the wear and tear of the day. Tiny tears in your muscles are restored. Your immune system scans for viruses and damaged cells. Your brain begins clearing away waste that has built up while you were awake. Hormones are carefully regulated, memories are organized, and countless microscopic repairs happen without you ever feeling a thing. Most people think sleep is simply a period of rest. It isn't. Sleep is one of the most active biological processes your body performs. In many ways, it's the maintenance shift that keeps you functioning day after day. But here's the problem. After the age of 60, many people unknowingly make small daily choices that interfere with these natural repair processes. Not because they're careless, but because no one ever explained what actually happens while we sleep. Some stay up just a little too late. Others eat heavy meals right before bed. Some wake repeatedly through the night. Others assume that getting 5 hours of sleep is good enough. And over months, or even years, those seemingly small habits may reduce the quality of deep sleep, the stage during which many of the body's restorative processes are most active. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey inside your body. We're going to follow what happens from the moment you fall asleep until the early hours of the morning. You'll discover why those first hours of deep sleep are so important, why they often become harder to achieve after 60, and most importantly, what simple habits may help protect your body's natural repair systems. By the end of this video, I think you'll look at bedtime in a completely different way. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Richard. Welcome back to the channel. Here, we focus on healthy aging through evidence-based nutrition, lifestyle, and medical science, without miracle cures or exaggerated promises. If you're over 60 or you're helping someone who is, you're in the right place. And if you enjoy learning why your body works the way it does, not just what to do, consider subscribing. Now, let me tell you about someone I'll never forget. Several years ago, I met a gentleman named Robert. He was 72 years old. He wasn't seriously ill. His blood pressure was reasonably controlled. His cholesterol was acceptable. He tried to stay active, but he looked exhausted. When I asked him what bothered him most, he didn't mention pain. He simply said, "Doctor, I wake up tired every single morning." He slept 7 hours, sometimes even 8, yet every morning felt like he'd hardly slept at all. He had less energy than before. His legs felt heavy. Small cuts seemed to take longer to heal. Even after gardening, a hobby he loved, his muscles stayed sore for days. At first, Robert thought this was simply aging. And yes, aging changes our bodies. But aging wasn't the whole story. After talking with him, another pattern became clear. He often watched television until after midnight. Sometimes he'd snack on leftover desserts before bed. He woke several times each night. His sleep looked long on paper, but it wasn't very restorative. Over the next few months, we focused less on sleeping longer and more on improving sleep quality. He established a regular bedtime, reduced late-night eating, spent more time outdoors in the morning, created a calmer bedtime routine. Several weeks later, he smiled as he walked into my office. "Doctor, I don't think I'm sleeping more. I think I'm sleeping better." That one sentence perfectly captures what today's video is about. It's not simply the number of hours you spend in bed. It's what your body is able to accomplish while you're there. I'd like you to imagine something. Picture a large city. During the day, the streets are crowded. Cars fill every road. Construction crews can barely work because traffic never stops. But after midnight, everything changes. The roads become quiet. Repair teams move in. Broken pavement is replaced. Street lights are repaired. Power lines are inspected. Garbage trucks clear away waste. By sunrise, the city is ready for another busy day. Your body works in a surprisingly similar way. While you're awake, your brain is processing information. Your muscles are moving. Your heart is responding to every activity. Your digestive system is handling meals. Your immune system is constantly reacting to the outside world. There's very little opportunity for major maintenance. But once you enter deep sleep, it's as though the night shift clocks in. Repair crews begin their work, not because the body suddenly switches on, but because deep sleep creates the conditions that allow many restorative processes to become more active. Scientists continue to study exactly how these processes work, but we know that deep sleep plays an important role in tissue repair, hormone regulation, immune function, and memory consolidation. This is what I like to call the night repair window. It's not a magical 4-hour timer. It's a simple way to understand that the early part of a healthy night's sleep often contains the deepest sleep, when many important restorative processes are most active. Protecting that window may be one of the most valuable things you can do for healthy aging. Your body never really sleeps. Here's something that surprises many people. While you're asleep, your body doesn't shut down, it changes priorities. Think of a busy factory. During the day, every machine is focused on producing today's products. But when production ends, the maintenance crew arrives. They clean the equipment, replace worn parts, lubricate the machinery, fix problems before the next workday begins. Without that maintenance, the factory would slowly become less efficient. Eventually, it would begin to break down. Your body follows a similar pattern. While you're sleeping, cells replace damaged proteins. Hormones help regulate normal body functions. Your immune system continues monitoring for threats. Your brain organizes information from the day. Tissues begin repairing routine wear and tear. These aren't dramatic events you can feel happening. They're quiet, continuous processes that support long-term health. And here's where things become especially interesting. One remarkable system inside your brain becomes far more active during sleep than when you're awake. Scientists sometimes describe it as the brain's own housekeeping system. It's responsible for helping clear away waste products that naturally build up throughout the day. Most people have never heard of it, but once you understand what it does, you'll never think about sleep the same way again. And that's exactly where we're going next. The brain's cleaning crew. Have you ever wondered why a good night's sleep can make you feel mentally refreshed? It's not simply because your brain rested. In fact, your brain remains remarkably active while you sleep. But instead of focusing on conversations, decisions, and problem solving, it switches to one of the most important jobs it performs all day: cleaning. Imagine living in a city where garbage trucks stopped working for an entire week. At first, you might not notice much. A few overflowing bins, some litter on the sidewalks. But after several days, the streets would become difficult to navigate. The air would smell different. Businesses would struggle to operate. Eventually, the entire city would begin to suffer. Now imagine that city is your brain. Every single day, as billions of nerve cells communicate with one another, they produce tiny waste products as a natural part of metabolism. That's completely normal. The remarkable part is what happens while you're asleep. Researchers have identified a specialized network known as the glymphatic system that becomes much more active during sleep, especially during deep sleep. You can think of it as your brain's overnight housekeeping team. Fluid moves through the brain, helping wash away many of the waste products that accumulated while you were awake. Scientists are still learning exactly how this system influences long-term brain health. But what we already know is fascinating. Quality sleep isn't simply about feeling rested tomorrow. It's one of the ways your brain maintains itself over time. Why deep sleep matters more than you think. Many people believe that all sleep is the same. It isn't. Sleep happens in cycles. Throughout the night, your brain moves through different stages. Some are lighter, some involve dreaming, and some are deep sleep. Deep sleep is especially important because it's during this stage that many restorative processes become more active. Think about renovating a busy shopping mall. Would you replace the flooring while thousands of shoppers are walking through? Of course not. You wait until the building is quiet. The same idea applies to your body. When your brain enters deep sleep, distractions decrease. The environment becomes calmer, and the body can devote more resources to repair and maintenance. This is why protecting those early hours of sleep can be so valuable. For many people, deep sleep is more concentrated during the first part of the night. That's one reason consistently delaying bedtime may reduce the opportunity for enough high quality deep sleep, especially if it also shortens your total sleep time. The memory library. Now let's talk about memory. Have you ever studied something only to remember it much better the next morning? That's not your imagination. Scientists believe sleep plays an important role in memory consolidation. Imagine spending the entire day collecting books. By evening, they're scattered all over the floor of a library. Nothing is organized. Finding anything would be difficult. During sleep, it's as though a team of librarians quietly arrives. Books are sorted, shelves are organized, important information is filed away, unnecessary clutter is removed. Your brain appears to do something similar. Throughout the day, you experience thousands of sights, sounds, conversations, and emotions. Not everything deserves permanent storage. During sleep, the brain helps organize and strengthen important memories while reducing less relevant information. It's one reason learning and sleep are so closely connected. What changes after 60? Here's where the story becomes especially important for older adults. As we age, our sleep naturally changes. Many people over 60 notice they wake up more often, spend less time in deep sleep, fall asleep earlier, wake earlier in the morning, become more sensitive to noise, need to use the bathroom more frequently during the night. These changes are common, but common doesn't mean they're insignificant. Less deep sleep may leave people feeling less refreshed, even if they spend 7 or 8 hours in bed. That's exactly what happened with Robert. He thought he needed more hours. What he really needed was better quality sleep. The good news? Many lifestyle habits can help support healthier sleep patterns, although they're not a cure for every sleep problem. The hormone orchestra. Let's imagine you're attending a symphony. Dozens of musicians sit on stage. Each one plays a different instrument. If even one section is badly out of rhythm, the music suffers. Your hormones work in a surprisingly similar way. They're chemical messengers. Each one has a different job. Some help regulate appetite. Others influence energy. Others help coordinate tissue repair, metabolism, or the body's daily rhythms. Sleep helps support the normal timing of many of these hormone systems. When sleep becomes fragmented night after night, the orchestra may lose some of its harmony. Again, this doesn't happen after one poor night's sleep. It's the long-term pattern that matters. Healthy sleep supports healthy hormone regulation, and healthy hormone regulation supports healthy aging. A patient's realization. A few months after Robert improved his evening routine, he told me something interesting. Doctor, I used to think sleeping was wasted time. Now I realize my body was working harder at night than I ever imagined. I smiled, because that's exactly the shift in thinking I hope this video creates. Sleep isn't simply the absence of activity. It's one of the most productive periods your body experiences every single day. But here's the surprising part. Even if you sleep for 8 hours, there's one evening habit that can quietly interfere with many of these natural repair processes. And millions of people do it every single night without realizing it. The invisible habit that steals your repair window. Imagine you've hired the best construction crew in the country to renovate your home overnight. They're skilled, they have the right tools, they're ready to work. But every 20 minutes, someone turns the lights on. The loud television starts playing. The front door keeps opening. The workers stop, pack up, wait, then try to start again. By morning, very little has been completed. That's surprisingly similar to what happens inside your body when your sleep is repeatedly interrupted. It isn't always the total number of hours that matters most. Sometimes, it's how often your body is pulled out of deep sleep. Every interruption gives your brain another job to do. Check the environment, respond to the sound, adjust your heart rate, reset your sleep cycle, then slowly work its way back toward deeper sleep again. The more often this happens, the less opportunity your body has to continue its overnight maintenance. That's why many people wake up saying, I slept 8 hours, but I still feel exhausted. Why late night eating can work against you. Now let's talk about one habit that surprises many of my patients. Eating a large meal just before bed. Many people think, I'm hungry, so I'll have a heavy dinner at 10:30 or 11. The problem isn't that eating at night is automatically unhealthy. The problem is that digestion requires work. Imagine asking a repair crew to renovate your house while a moving company is simultaneously carrying furniture through every room. Both jobs compete for attention. Your digestive system continues working after a large meal. That doesn't mean your body stops repairing itself. But eating very close to bedtime can make it harder for some people to fall asleep comfortably and may increase nighttime discomfort or reflux, especially in older adults. If possible, try finishing your larger meals 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. If you're genuinely hungry later in the evening, a light, balanced snack may be a better choice than a heavy meal. The screen light nobody thinks about. Now imagine it's 10:30 at night. You're lying in bed, the room is dark, but your face is illuminated by a bright phone screen. Just 5 more minutes, turns into 30, then 45. We've all done it. The issue isn't the phone itself, it's what the light and the mental stimulation can do. Bright light in the evening may delay your body's natural signals that it's time to prepare for sleep. Social media, breaking news, emails, even exciting television shows can keep your brain mentally engaged long after you turn the device off. Your body needs a chance to slow down. Think of it like landing an airplane. Pilots don't switch off the engines at 30,000 feet. They gradually descend. Your brain benefits from a similar transition. A calm routine before bed can help signal that it's time to sleep. Habit number 1, keep a consistent bedtime. This is probably the most powerful habit of all. Your body loves rhythm. It has an internal clock, often called the circadian rhythm, that helps regulate when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy. Going to bed at wildly different times every night can make it harder for your body to predict when sleep should begin. You don't have to be perfect, but aiming for a consistent bedtime most nights of the week can support healthier sleep patterns. Think of it as setting the maintenance crew's schedule. When they know exactly when work begins, everything runs more smoothly. Habit number 2, get morning sunlight. This may sound unrelated, but morning sunlight helps set your body's internal clock for the rest of the day. Even 10 to 20 minutes outside in natural daylight, if practical for you, can reinforce your normal sleep-wake rhythm. You don't need to stare at the sun. Simply spending time outdoors while walking, gardening, or enjoying your morning coffee can make a difference. One of my patients, Helen, started taking a short walk every morning with her neighbor. She originally wanted more exercise. What surprised her most was that she began sleeping better at night. Sometimes the habit that improves your sleep starts 12 hours earlier. Habit number 3, move your body every day. Exercise is one of the best gifts you can give your body. Regular movement supports heart health, blood sugar control, mood, balance, muscle strength, and for many people, better sleep. The goal isn't to become a marathon runner. Even walking, light strength training, swimming, or gentle stretching can help. The key is consistency. Just try to avoid very intense exercise immediately before bedtime if you notice it makes it harder for you to fall asleep. Habit number 4, create a sleep-friendly bedroom. Look around your bedroom tonight. Ask yourself one simple question. Does this room invite sleep? Or does it invite distraction? A cool, quiet, comfortable room often supports better sleep than one filled with bright lights, loud sounds, or constant interruptions. Simple changes may help. Blackout curtains, a supportive mattress, Comfortable pillows, reducing unnecessary noise. Sometimes the smallest adjustments produce the biggest improvements. A turning point. Robert once told me something I'll never forget. Doctor, I spent years trying to find the perfect supplement. It turns out I needed a better bedtime routine instead. That sentence stayed with me, because many of us search for complicated solutions when our bodies are quietly asking for simple consistency. But we're not finished yet. There's one final question we haven't answered. If sleep is so important, what actually happens when we repeatedly ignore it for months or even years? The answer explains why protecting your night repair window becomes even more valuable as we grow older. What happens when your repair window keeps getting interrupted? Let's go back to the city we imagined earlier. Every night, construction crews repair roads, electricians inspect power lines, maintenance workers keep everything running. Now imagine those crews are sent home every single night before they've finished their work. One night probably wouldn't matter, neither would two. But after weeks, small problems would begin to accumulate. A crack in the road becomes a pothole, a loose wire becomes a power outage, a neglected bridge becomes unsafe. Our bodies aren't cities, but they face a similar challenge. No single poor night's sleep determines your future health. Most of us have nights when we don't sleep well. That's part of life. What matters more is the overall pattern. When deep, restorative sleep is repeatedly disrupted over months or years, your body has fewer opportunities to perform many of the processes that help support healthy aging. Research has linked consistently poor sleep with increased risks of several chronic health conditions. Although sleep is only one piece of a much larger picture that also includes nutrition, physical activity, stress, genetics, and access to healthcare. That's why I don't want you to leave this video feeling afraid. I want you to leave feeling empowered. Because unlike our age, many of our evening habits are within our control. Habit number 5, give your brain time to slow down. One mistake I see repeatedly is this. People expect their brain to fall asleep the moment their head touches the pillow. But think about your car. If you've been driving on the highway at high speed, you don't slam on the brakes at the entrance to your driveway. You gradually slow down. Your brain works much the same way. If you're answering emails, watching intense television, reading upsetting news, or scrolling through social media until the last minute, your mind is still in day mode. Instead, create what I call a landing routine. Perhaps it's reading a book, listening to calming music, gentle stretching, quiet conversation, prayer or meditation. Even 10 to 15 minutes of calm before bed may help your mind transition towards sleep. Habit number 6, avoid depending on alcohol to fall asleep. Many people tell me, Doctor, a glass of wine helps me sleep. And it's true, alcohol may make some people feel sleepy. But falling asleep and sleeping well are not always the same thing. Alcohol can disrupt normal sleep architecture later in the night, leading to more fragmented sleep for many people. Some people fall asleep faster, only to wake more often during the early morning hours. If you regularly rely on alcohol to help you sleep, it's worth discussing healthier long-term strategies with your healthcare provider. Habit number 7, know when to ask for help. Here's something I want every viewer to hear. Poor sleep isn't always something you should simply live with. If you snore loudly, stop breathing during sleep according to your partner, wake up gasping, feel exhausted despite spending enough time in bed, have persistent insomnia for weeks, frequently fall asleep during the day. Please don't ignore those symptoms. Conditions like obstructive sleep apnea and chronic insomnia are common, especially as we get older, and they deserve proper medical evaluation. Sometimes improving your health begins not with another supplement, but with identifying an underlying sleep disorder. The biggest myth about healthy aging. One of the biggest myths I hear is this: feeling tired is just part of getting older. Is aging associated with changes in sleep? Yes, absolutely. But feeling constantly exhausted should never be dismissed without asking why. Sometimes it's poor sleep. Sometimes it's medication. Sometimes it's depression. Sometimes it's thyroid disease. Sometimes it's sleep apnea. Sometimes it's something entirely different. Growing older doesn't mean giving up on feeling well. It means paying closer attention to the signals your body is sending. Robert's final visit. About a year after I first met Robert, he came back for his annual review. As he walked into the room, I noticed something before he even spoke. He moved differently. His posture was better. He smiled more. He looked lighter. Not because he'd discovered some miracle cure, not because he'd found the perfect supplement. He simply said, "Doctor, I finally understand something. Sleep isn't the reward I get after finishing my day. It's the preparation my body needs for tomorrow." I couldn't have said it better myself. That simple shift in thinking changed the way he approached every evening. The night repair window. So tonight, when you switch off the lights, remember this. Your body isn't shutting down. It's changing shifts. While you sleep, your brain begins organizing memories. Your immune system continues its quiet surveillance. Hormones help coordinate countless normal body functions. Cells repair everyday wear and tear. Your heart finally works under calmer conditions. Your muscles recover from another day's work. None of these things happen because of one miracle food, one supplement, or one secret trick. They happen because your body has spent millions of years developing extraordinary systems designed to help keep you healthy. Our job is simply not to get in their way. Protect your sleep, protect your habits, protect your future. If there's one message I hope stays with you after today's video, it's this. Healthy aging doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens in hundreds of small decisions you make every day. Choosing to move your body, eating nourishing foods, getting morning sunlight, creating a peaceful bedtime routine, asking for help when something doesn't feel right. These habits may seem ordinary, but together, they create the conditions your body needs to repair, recover, and thrive. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Because every good night's sleep is another opportunity to invest in the years ahead. If you found today's video helpful, please take a moment to click the like button. It helps more people discover evidence-based health information like this. If you're new here, I'd love to welcome you to our growing community. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly videos on healthy aging, nutrition, sleep, heart health, brain health, and living well after 60. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is one evening habit you're going to change after watching this video? Share it in the comments below. You never know, your answer might inspire someone else to sleep a little better tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Richard. Take care of your nights, because they quietly take care of you. I'll see you in the next video. Medical disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Sleep needs and health conditions vary from person to person. If you have persistent sleep problems, loud snoring, pauses in breathing during sleep, excessive daytime sleepiness, or other concerning symptoms, consult a qualified healthcare professional for evaluation and treatment. Never stop or change prescribed medications or treatments without medical advice.